like pushed up with his AWP. By the way, never mind. I was actually gonna like reference a conversation that we had on MSN that no one would know any of the reference points for. It's good stuff.
It's bound to happen.
But yeah, I have no, basically, you know, XP3 actually tries to AWP every time he has money and he picks it up.
Yeah.
I've never understood why he tries to AWP long range, because he's one of those players in mid range and people, but long range actually has like the lowest possible chance. Bearing in mind he always just flick shots, and long range is like really bad for that. Oh man, that was just a complete waste of time.
Yep.
There we go, 16-10, even though in reality it probably should have been like... I mean, to be fair, you can't really say that Backfire should have won any of those rounds, because UMX didn't make half as many mistakes. And a lot of those rounds were Backfire just like getting a second headshot that probably doesn't happen like 30% of the time.
Yeah, they were like...
Right, Jacobson's going to tell me on aim now if we're going to do EG vs good guys, or whether that's just nonsense.
Okay.
I mean, I'm saying he is, just as a hint to him. How many people were actually watching this, do you know?
It's rescheduled. Again. I repeat, the match is not live.
Do you want to know what's actually disgusting? Apparently there's 130 people speccing this. Well, remember when we had like 300 people permanently on that WCG Nordic where that idiot put the graphics settings like ridiculously bad?
Yep.
The best part, this is probably the part that blew my mind. I mean, the game isn't on right now, so I can just say this. Was the part where I got the actual graphics settings off someone else, and I was like, no, you need to put the bitrate up like 700 more. And he was like, but the internet connection here doesn't handle that. And I was like, isn't your entire company just like streaming games online? And he's like, yeah, man, but it's FIFA. And I just actually wanted to just leave the room right there, and that was like halfway through WCG Nordic, and I had to like do all the rest of the game.
That was terrible. I actually went there to the event the first day.
What's funny is you'd think it would be retarded going to an event to then log on to HLTV and commentate, but you know what? People actually do that at every event now. Like in every press area, people from like Russia and France do their own commentary on their laptop from the event.
Really?
Yeah, it happens at every one now.
Well, I mean, that's just because those guys want that excuse of going to amazing countries like Ukraine, Germany, France.
Thing is, think how retarded that is as well, because if they're doing their commentary and streaming, well then what happens when I go to like upload my 700 meg like video file while on the same connection? I'm sure everyone in France is like, mad!
I think the problem
or whatever they say.
I think the problem is those guys don't think at all in general. That's probably what causes the most problems.
I'm just checking if there's actually any more games to do at all. Because if not, then we should probably just like wrap this up officially.
Yeah, I don't think there is for today. I think that's it. EG match once again rescheduled.
Does ESEA ever catch up on all the games that are off? Or do they just like ridiculously play them all in the last 3 weeks?
I think a lot of them just get pushed back and pushed back and pushed back.
Right, I should know in a second. Okay, that's it. There's no more games, so let's just wrap this up. Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Actually, why don't I go on look at the stats for that game, see if there's anything interesting there.
Okay, go to winout.net and pay money for videos. The videos are quite good. Don't look at who made them, just pay. Trust that they're good.
Actually, I've been making videos recently, so look at who made them, don't look at the videos.
Now, you're just the person talking though, you didn't create the video.
I've made some videos.
You did?
I did.
Oh, those videos are good. I like them. I pay to watch them. Okay, actual final thoughts about the game, because everyone's about to tune out like instantly.
I actually do think if you like UMX had a couple of those rounds that they really screwed up on go their way, they could have had that, but Backfire looked to be the better team like throughout the match, I felt like. I'm actually surprised Buskey turns out to have been by far the had the most frags out of UMX. Like I thought he was playing really bad when we were watching.
Yeah, none of them were like impact frags. He got nearly all of his kills on
Egos.
T side, just getting ridiculous, like, pointless kills. I don't think any of them won the round.
Yeah. XP3 played well too. 26 frags in 26 rounds. Maybe he was the difference maker, and if they had him playing, maybe they would have beaten Big SK.
I wonder if
WCG.
Buskey actually did do the strat calling in Stacked Like Pancakes. I mean, what possible strats did he call? Like, okay, Pond Filler, I'm gonna need you to cheat right now.
Can you just... Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna walk inner. You're gonna let us know which box they're hiding behind. We're gonna spam him, or just like conveniently pay more attention to that box, clear it, and then you're gonna stay here in Brown Hole and let us know where they are. All right?
Dude, I thought we discussed this. Don't use zoom. It's better if you just kill them without zooming, because then you can kill all 5 in a row. Yeah, I know they're long range. Just fire anyway. You always hit, don't worry. This isn't LAN. And then they had another guy who cheated as well, who I can't remember the name of. You remember him?
No, but if you said his name, I would know.
Oh, I can't remember his name. In fact, Pondfiller made his movie, I think. What was his name? Fuck. Waymo, that's it. Waymo was fucking amazing.
Okay.
And then he went to LAN and like actually shot someone once, and everyone was like, well, seems pretty legit to me. Even though the stuff online was like the most ridiculous. Like the stuff online was actually during the period, I think, when I'd made... I think it was during the same period where I'd watched all of Frod's POVs online, and I was like, there's more stuff in the first 3 minutes of this movie than Frod has ever done in his entire career, and he's like the best author.
Oh, by the way, Jacobson says to say we need to mention Game Goon.
Game Gun.
Game Goon.
By the way, I heard Game Gun like 1,000 times during that event. People asking me, was I going to Game Gun?
I remember.
Oh yeah, so for Game Goon, which is the 22nd to the 24th, we're going to be doing streaming at some point, me and Lurppis and I. Actually, we don't know which games we're going to do yet. Because, I mean, in theory, if we're both on at whatever time they start, we could just do games for the sake of doing them. But at the same time, Game Goon usually has a really stupid structure where, like, you actually play group stage first. Most of the groups is, like, one good team versus people from Spain. That's it, people from Spain. So they just get owned the fuck out of. And your best possible chance for a game is if, like, some okay people from France also happen to be in that group. So usually the groups are, like, a complete washout, and usually it's, like, second round of the playoff for any real game starts. So I'm not even sure if that's the first day.
Yeah, I'm pretty much I'm looking at the groups right now. I'm pretty much the only games that would be of any interest in group stage would be like, I don't know who's on LDLC, the French team, but like SK Existence could be like watchable if you wanted to see Forest highlights. And then Fnatic plays ESEA, which could actually be really close considering how weak the new Fnatic
ESEA should actually win that game.
They changed players, a lot of them. They have hearts
Isn't
now.
ESEA the one that got better?
I'm not sure who got better, but it's Sixers team, but they got rid of
ESEA
Rara.
and Millennium actually improved their team. Like they merged the two bad teams into one.
ESEA got good. They were
That's
the
probably
winner
like
in
the
that
best
merge.
French team since the MSX ones went bad.
Yeah.
In fact, I'd actually... What map is that on? Does it say?
No. But imagine if MSX was on that team. Just get rid of like the worst player, put MSX there.
That's actually the sick thing, because he hasn't been on their team. I can't remember which player told me, but it doesn't matter because I won't be able to mention it now anyway, but some player told me that he wants to join a team with like Sixer or Major at some point. Like he actually plans in his future to do it. Because it's kind of weird they've never done it.
Yeah, those are the best 3 French players, I think. Sixer, Major, and MSX, so it would make sense to put them on the same team. And then also in like the Group D, which is actually going to be Saturday morning and not Friday, is European time, is Moscow 5 and ESC, which is like I think like a reasonable match. So if we're up, might do that. But after that, it's just pretty much going to be like one bad round of playoffs and then some good games and then playing lower bracket out for like the rest of the day before some good matches again.
Is there actually going to be a place that we're going to announce when we're streaming the Game Goon? So people can just go and check that. I mean, I'll actually put this stream, if you go on the SK site, we'll be on the SK Gaming site. We'll be doing like the fixtures during the event, and people will be updating him. So I'll actually put the stream on there. So in theory, you can just go and see when we're streaming on there on the individual match. And if it doesn't have stream, then we're not. But otherwise, I'm not sure where Winout actually puts the stream. I'm guessing people just go to winout.net and it's on there.
Yeah. Plus, just I'm sure there will be posts on forums in general. So, like if you check out like ESEA forums and like whatever, I'm sure there'll be posts up there. But Winout site probably the best place to go.
And actually, one reason why it's actually worth watching Game Goon is because Game Goon is like by far the most variable event of all the, in theory, good events, because like the maps are already pre-designed and it's single elimination. No, it's double elimination, single map. So teams can literally play a slightly worse team on a map that they're bad at, so they can lose. So there's like upsets are miles more likely in the Game Goon than any other tournament. Well, except for before they added Forge and Mirage, but let's spend that in that.
But
right,
so basically what we have left is we have Game Goon, where Navi might just get plowed on nuke, and we don't get to see SK versus Navi. And then after that, we just get shitty events on Mirage and Forge. And then we just gotta hope there's gonna be some tournament where they just forget about those maps ever existing.
What's funny is if the South Korean scene hadn't completely imploded due to like having to go and having to go and point a gun 2 miles away from a North Korean guy, then if the South Korean team scene actually had some good teams now, I think they would actually probably get like a huge advantage on the 2 bad maps, because if they just did their normal thing, they'd have like 1 million more flashes than everyone else.
Yep.
Okay, I think that's it then, right? Watch Game Goon, go to winout.net, pay for subscription, watch videos. If you're UMX, do that because you have no idea about strats, and most of you don't even know what a peak is.
Well,
if you're UMX, watch Moscow 5, realize why they can actually do it because they have good aim, you can't. Learn some strategy, step your life game up. What do you have to say?
Well, I mean, if you're UMX, you may just want to consider booking lessons with me, and I'm sure I can teach them a couple things, and by a couple things I mean more than they know combined.
That's true. Lurppis taught Fraud everything he knows. So if you like what you see, then go to the source.
Don't get the middleman, go to the source. I'll stay on Mumble for a bit after the stream's done.
Yeah,
if you're not going to go to sleep.
Right, Jacobson, shut it down. Winout.net.